There's enough in your vortex to keep you thriving for 20 or 30 lifetimes. That's how dynamic it is. That's how big it is. And you want some of it. How are you going to get it? You got to get into receptive mode. You've got to think like your inner being thinks in order to be in that receptive mode.
My question is basically, I have no goals.
Yes, you do. You're just not in tune with them enough to recognize them. Your vortex is full of them. You've just been focused upon the other end of them, so it doesn't feel like it, but they are there. And you know how you can know what they are? Sometimes by the contrast of knowing what you don't want. You have goals. You have desires. You have desires.
I do have desires.
By the goal, then, did you mean I don't have any action things lined up? Well, that's all right.
Correct.
Because as you have desires and you focus more generally on the desire, you see, when you think about what you want and why you want it in general terms, you stay in this vibration that is non-resistant, and you allow yourself to become a cooperative component to things that your inner being knows about that are more specific.
That's where I feel. That's how I'm feeling that.
And so what you're actually saying to us is, I know what I want and why I want it. I just haven't yet received when it's going to come, where it's going to come from, who's going to be there, how it's going to come about. And that's all right if you are able to stay in that general place of optimistic anticipation. It will clear up for you.
Yes.
It will.
I'm a hairdresser and a nail technician for many, many years, and my salon is moving over to a much broader salon, and there's going to be a lot of different changes monetarily and everything like that.
So what did you mean when you said I have no goals?
Well, I just feel that...
Isn't that an intention? How do you define a goal? We don't want to be troublesome to you, but come on. You just said two things that are opposite of each other.
Well, I do that a lot, yes. I do that a lot. But I guess when I say of a goal, I think about I have to make, so much money a year, and I'm going to focus on that and get to that goal. Where I don't really care if I make $1 million or if I make $60,000 a year. I'm very happy with what is. And when I say I don't have a goal, I'm not looking at...
Well, we hear what you're saying. What you're saying is, I have things in my vortex that I'm not allowing myself to acknowledge. And so I'm deliberately choosing to pretend that I do not have any desires so that I don't disappoint myself when it doesn't go the way I want it to. That's
Maybe.
What you... For sure.
Yeah. I just feel like...
So we have some questions for you. Are you looking forward to this change?
Yes.
And do you like working with people?
No. I don't like people. And I fake my way through people. They're irritating. Is that bad? That's really bad, right?
It's not good or bad. So you said, I have a goal and I'm going to do this, but I'm not going to like it. And so don't worry about making $1 million because it can't come under those conditions. Don't worry about making 60,000. It can't come under those conditions either. You can't feel adverse to what you're doing, to your process, without putting a vibration in the air that is hindering in nature. Let's calibrate this. It will be really fun and really helpful. Describe the situation. I have a business. I'm migrating to a new environment, and I'm going to work with others?
Yes.
As an owner?
That's one of the things. I'm not going to be an owner anymore. I'm going to be actually working for somebody.
So I am a technician, and I will primarily be doing...
Nails
in an environment with others, and I'm not looking forward to it because I'm not really at this point feeling good about people, and the emotions that I feel are dread. Don't let us make it too strong or too weak.
I guess I'm dreading that I'm losing my independence as a business owner.
And I feel bound and in bondage and not free and
yes,
like I didn't do well
enough.
And so that's where those emotions sit. And it's all right and it's understandable because you calibrated to the condition, which almost everybody does. It's what we call knee-jerk reaction. It's what people call observing. It's what people call facing reality. Nothing wrong with it. Pretty normal. Just doesn't feel good. Because all along in all of that, in all of those decisions and in all of those acknowledgments, in all of that, your inner being has a different point of view. And because your inner being has a different point of view, and because your inner being is the dominant part of you, then that point of view that is remaining active within you for the time you're focusing upon it is feeling, because it is, like split energy or a tug of war. So now we've said that, and now you know the drill in this environment. We're turning to the other side of the page in the book that we are really going to get a book and really do it in physical writing activity. It's a really good thing to do. And turn to the other page and now speak as best you can, and you can do pretty well. We're going to help you along from the perspective of your inner being, who's been walking in your moccasin, who's been with you every step along the way, who knows every nuance of everything that you've lived, who has lived it intricately, and who has, while you've been calibrating what we just stated there, which is a brief spattering of life experience, has been calibrating something so much more. However, I am a dreader of life or a lapper up of life. Who am I?
Up of life.
I am a lapper of life. I am terrible at what I do, or I am pretty darn good at what I do.
I'm the best of what I do. I know I am.
I enjoy the excellence of my craft, or I abhor it. I enjoy
it and I
the
love it.
excellence of my craft. So maybe you could just pretend like those nails don't have a person with them. I am focused on what I do, or I'm distracted by everything around me.
Oh no, I'm very focused.
Because I'm so focused, sometimes I'm misunderstood and seen as not a people person. And it isn't that I'm not a people person, it's that I'm excellent at what I do, and often I am misunderstood. I so like the evolution of my craft. I like what's going on with it. I like the long stream of people who want to interact with me, who receive the benefit of what I do so well. I'm really happy that at this particular time of my life that I get to do this thing where I can withdraw into the excellence that is me and feel the inspiration that is coming from non-physical, and not talk a lot, not fritter away in chatter, not talk about mindless things like
right.
the kind of things that most
That's
people...
That's what I hate.
But what I love is the inner stability of who people really are. What I love to do is tune in to the frequency of who they really are. What I love to do is to touch them and feel them and know the fullness of them through the extension of every little piece of them that holds the true essence of who they are. Yes?
Yes.
So that's what calibration is. And under those conditions, those that are most compatible with who you really are and what you really want will flock to you. That's how the law of attraction works.
They have, because I was, since I've always been my own business owner, I get to choose whose nails I do. If you're a pain in my butt and you're just really annoying, I'm not gonna...
But hear this. When someone is a pain in your butt, the law of attraction says, here's another one very much like that. And here's another one very much like that, because your light board lights up. And then you go to whoever it is that is doing the scheduling and you say, why are you giving me all of the pains in the butt? And they don't know, but we do. They're what's lighted up on your board, and you can't get other than what's lighted up on your board. Got to light something up different on your board, and we just did together. Yes. So you did a little natural humaning kind of thing just now. You calibrated to this. We came over here. It activated within you. You felt it well. But because we'd pinpointed it enough over there, and life's been pinpointed it over there, then it was easy for you to return there. So as you return there to calibrate into the unwanted, like you just did with your words, and they were funny. Pain in the butt, that's funny. That emphasizes, and everybody related to that. But still, it's activating something in you that is not letting you stay true to who you really are and what you really want. So the next time you do that, if you calibrate again, I love my craft. I'm so good at this. I like what I do. I like the evolution of this process. Each time you, not every time, but sometimes, if you take the time to remind yourself who you really are, not who sometimes really intense or strong energied people. In other words, if they're getting your goat, it's because your goat is gettable. If they're pushing your button, it's because you got it right out there in front of them where they can push it. If your chain is yankable, it's dangling out there in front of everyone. But when you calibrate, you withdraw yourself from that kind of attention, and law of attraction no longer delivers that to you. There are two ways to know what you're doing in terms of your vibrational point of attraction. One is by how you feel. That's pre-manifestational. And the other is by what shows up. And then it really is compounded by how you feel because of what shows up. How you feel because of what shows up is a disempowering way to live life. Feeling the way you want to feel because you care about feeling the way you want to feel, and most important of all, of loving, of being thrilled by this consistent universe, that when you take the time to deliberately calibrate upward in the vibrational alignment with who you are, and then you get to witness the astonishing results of that. That feeling of empowerment and that feeling of worthiness and that feeling of being tended to and that feeling of well-being will come on so strong and so steady within you because that's who you really are. Everything is always working out for you. Sometimes you're just postponing it a little bit because you're letting reality play too big of a part in your observation and therefore in your vibrational output. We enjoyed this conversation a lot.
Thank you.
Really a lot. Really good.